Hello, everyone, and welcome to TakuCast Zero E3 special. And today we'll be talking about the Microsoft press conference. I am Gunn, and as always, I am joined with
Dad Honey Badger.
and
Digital Wolf.
and for the first time ever, our very special guest.
Hongo.
Yay.
Yes,
His timing was better than mine the first
Yeah.
time.
sure was.
That's
See,
it.
he's a knack for this.
I'm kicking Wolf out and Honko's taking over.
Uh,
Okay, so let's get down to
Yeah.
business.
We got a lot to go through.
Yeah.
So, where are we starting with?
Oh, well,
Are
we'll
we
just
start
start.
with?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. We start just before it with the Kinect Sports Rivals.
Yeah, just mention
Okay.
that there.
Okay, I just mentioned this.
Yeah, well, a bit more detail.
Okay. So just before the Microsoft press conference started, they announced Kinect Sports Rivals. So did anyone pay attention to that? Wolf?
I saw a little bit of it of the trailer that they were showing, and apparently how it is you can scan in your face, and then apparently it creates that kind of a caricature of you or something like that. They didn't really show any gameplay. It was just stuff like wakeboarding with explosions, bowling with explosions, and I think it was climbing with explosions. No, I don't think it was explosions. They were throwing people down to the water or something like that. But yeah, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, but they didn't really show any gameplay.
Is it being
se.
developed by Michael Bay?
Yeah, I was just gonna say Michael Bay.
Like that. Yeah, explosions with lots of explosions.
Climb the wall without being blown to pieces.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Well,
Okay,
that's
so,
boring
yeah.
stuff out of the way.
After that, the press conference actually started, and they opened up. They came right out of the gates with a big one.
Mhm.
Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yes.
Who wants to take that?
Why don't you take it? You're the
yeah,
big fan here.
I was going to say the same thing.
Okay. Well, where do I even start? So first of all, it started off with Big Boss, who is now called Punished Snake, and he was riding on a horse with Ocelot, going through the desert, and it straight away just looked like Red Dead Redemption 2 I was looking at.
Yeah.
Huge, big open world. They kind of sped up things in the interest of time, but yeah, looked massive open world. Big Boss looks like he's gone pure evil now. So Kellogg was right about that. And child soldiers, all this kind of stuff. We saw the new bosses. So they look like an interesting cast of characters. And yeah, what else can I say about it really? It just looked stunning. Like,
Did you think that when he was walking past with he was on the horse? Hold on a second. Sorry, my dog has got himself tangled in my headphones. The wires. Sorry. Anyways, he was on the horse, right? And then he leans to the side to avoid detection. But
oh yeah.
why did I think why is there a random horse? Yeah, with a shoe on its back, because you'd still see his foot, right?
That's a good point.
That foot must be in a real hurry. I mean, jokes aside, though, it looked brilliant. Like my jaw hit the floor. I didn't see it coming.
The Fox engine looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes. It does.
Yeah. And one of the big things for me was just what they were doing with the animation was just phenomenal. It was like everything from when he was just like diving between, I guess, cover of sorts, and it was like a soldier you just like turn around and just like kind of like dive to the right or something like that.
I love that. I was like, that's so cool. I mean, I think that's something that maybe other Metal Gear Solids are missing to make it a really good stealth game was maybe better controls, if you know what I mean. I felt sometimes that your movement could be a bit rigid. I don't know if you'd agree with me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still great games, but I think it's definitely evolved now, and it's going to even be better than Metal Gear Solid 4. And like, oh my god, I love Metal Gear Solid 4.
It looks buttery smooth.
Yeah.
But one other thing that might be important is that we heard Kiefer Sutherland's voice, but we never actually saw Big Boss speaking. Like, his back was turned when the voice was coming out. So I don't know if that's significant or not, but
I think it sounded good though, to be honest. It
didn't sound too bad. Didn't sound bad.
As a big fan of Metal Gear Solid, Gun, could you accept that it?
Oh yeah, no matter whose voices change, I'm still going to get it. But obviously, I just prefer Hazer.
Yeah.
Hongo, what do you think?
I thought it looked great. The voice actor change doesn't really bother me, but I can see where some fans would take issue with it. But he sounded fine to me, so I think he'll fill the role pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, definitely.
I mean,
sorry.
he was on 24 for all those years, so it's not like he's a new actor, just fresh, just picked just for the game. I mean, he's had experience, and I think he's even done animation before. So
Yeah, I was
Well,
going to
that's
say
true.
the same thing. He's got some good acting chops on him now. Really well seasoned. So if it is, I don't mind because he suits the role, and if not, yay, David Hayter's back. So not going to lose, and it looks like the gameplay's just insane. Like I don't
Yeah.
think we can even comprehend what's going to be in it yet.
You know, it's
Yeah.
gonna be unreal.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should probably move on.
Oh
So
yes.
next, they showed off the Xbox 360 section, and the first thing they showed off was their Xbox 360 Slim. So would anyone like to take that?
I guess I will. It's just new looking. It looks more like the Xbox One. I mean, they were very merciful and kept this portion very short because everyone wanted to get to the next gen games. So
Yeah.
the new Xbox looks just like the Xbox One, or at least fairly similar. And they announced World of Tanks is coming to it. It's a PC. It's a PC game that's free to play. And it's going to be 15 versus 15, which normally on Xbox is 12v12. So that's pretty cool. And you need gold subscription to play it, but that's it. It's free to play pretty much, minus your subscription. And that's it.
Yeah.
If anyone else wants to talk
Uh,
about it, be my guest.
there was the PS Plus like thing that they had.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Pretty much as well. Halo 3 and Assassin's Creed 2, you can download that for free now, and they'll have one game a month with your gold subscription. Very similar, pretty much, and not even very similar, the exact same. What Sony are doing with PlayStation Plus. I'm very happy, even though I was like right away, it's like, oh god, you're copied it straight. But I'm not going to complain after 3 games. But yeah.
I was kind of disappointed with the selection they started out with. Like,
Yeah.
you kind of figured they would open with like kind of like a big hitter. Like, if they had did like Halo 4, everybody would have been like, "Oh, that's awesome!" But no, they did Halo 3 and Assassin's Creed 2 of all things.
Playing it safe, but Assassin's Creed 2 is a good game.
It is,
Yeah.
but it's a bit dated at this stage.
Yeah. Same with Halo 3. Like nobody plays that online anymore, really, except for the pros.
Right.
So these new people are like, oh, I got this new game, and then they're gonna get dunked on so hard.
What did you think about it, Hongo?
You heard it here first.
I'm speechless. I can't blame him for following the PlayStation Plus model because while it's just a couple games, it's a start. So it'll sell the subscriptions or keep people with them. So they definitely need something to step up their premium subscription. So because PS Plus, seems like every month they're like, oh, we're adding more games this month along with the games from last month, and it's kind of throws water on their fire.
Yeah, definitely. Oddly enough, even though the online PSN, the online service, isn't that good compared to Xbox Live, they do seem to want to give you more and try to give you more for your money, and you don't even pay that much for it. So it's a double-edged sword in a way.
But so there wasn't just the World of Tanks. There was 2 other 360 games that they showed off. It was like Max: The Curse of Brotherhood, which is kind of like Pixar style game going on, and then there was Dark Souls 2 gameplay that they showed off too. Anyone have any thoughts on those?
No.
I don't know about the first one, but I'm definitely a big fan of Dark Souls. That was a really good trailer for that. So they showed like a lot of the stuff, from what I could tell, looked pretty new. At least from what I've seen from previous gameplay. I haven't played Dark Souls 1, but I played through Demon Souls, and at least there was a lot there for me to be interested in.
Okay. Hongo?
I have Dark Souls.
Man?
Yeah, I have Dark Souls 2, but I didn't get very far in it. I played it for like 3 hours, and I never really went back. I need to, but I just have yet to.
No.
All right.
We're about to get down to the nitty grit, I think.
Yeah, so this is when the heavy hitters started coming out. The first one was Rise, Son of Rome. Who's going to take that?
I'll jump in it again, I guess.
I suppose you're the kind of Microsoft guy here, I think.
Yeah, well, I had the Xbox 360 this generation, so. But anyways, okay, so this game looked unbelievable. I mean, okay, let's just start with what I've seen. Unreal graphics and lighting. The lighting looked fantastic. I noticed that his armor kind of moves a bit. I think what I noticed from this generation is the clothes don't seem to stick to your character anymore. Across the board, like not just Microsoft, Sony too. The clothes just don't, like, when you run, stick it to the backs of your legs or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's something I was really, really hoping for, and it's really, really cool that it is here.
Yeah. Wait, was that a Unreal Engine that they were showing?
Crytek.
Oh, it's Crytek.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's see. It's really gory. The swordplay looks amazing. There's like parts where it slows down. You press a button and you can do a really cool finisher. You use your shield a bit more realistically, it seems, or at least it looks like it's way more important. In some games, I often just ignore the blocking, and I just go right for it. Non-stop attack. And some people said it looks a bit like God of War. Not really, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, any hack and slash game on a big scale these days, it's like God of War, bro.
I think it was much more slower paced than God of War.
Yeah. I like it though. I also like that it looks like you command your troops. When they're getting attacked by archers, and then they had that shield formation where the ones at the front had it, facing up, and the guys on the top pushed it upway so arrows couldn't come from overhead. That was really cool. And then he said something. I don't know if he pressed a button or uses Kinect. Maybe you can use Kinect for it. But then he pretty much gets all his guys to throw spears at the archers. And then they do that 2 or 3 times, and then they proceed through the level. And eventually ends with him commanding a catapult to take out a tower of some kind. And, that looked really really good too. It seemed to be in-game. And it's going to be an exclusive launch title for the Xbox One, so that's one really, really strong start for them. And it's a game that if I was to get the Xbox One, I'd probably pick that up first so far.
What did you guys think about it?
Well, wasn't it originally supposed to be a Kinect game of sorts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would imagine it has a decent amount of integration on that front if it just means like commanding troops and stuff like that. I don't know.
I'd say they looked at how Star Wars the game did, and they were like, yeah, we can't do it.
Yeah, that's true.
The Kinect game does.
Right. But I think the one thing I kept seeing was I guess apparently it was modified from what I saw from the afterward. It was kind of modified, so the quick time events were happening a bit more, and you couldn't be as creative with them apparently. But it was a bit distracting for me to just kind of always have the little slow mo thing.
Yeah.
I kind of prefer like the Assassin's Creed style, just swing, next guy.
I love that too.
Yeah.
So
you feel like a badass.
Right. So I understand why they did the slow mo thing, but that's just like something going on in between that slow motion moment where you have more control. If it's just to push a button, then it doesn't make much sense for me for them to do that.
For me, I was impressed with the graphics of it. Very impressed with the graphics. But the gameplay, I need to see more of that before I'm sold on it, because it seemed kind of very linear, very kind of wondering how much control I have over what I'm seeing, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But that's just what I thought.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It kind of reminded me of, if any of you guys ever played it, Spartan Total Warrior. It was on
I
the
think I played it at
GameCube.
your house.
Yeah. It was actually amazing for the time. Like, they got so many enemies on screen, you could do some cool moves, and it was very gory as well. It was a really cool game. It reminded me of that a little bit.
Yeah.
Was that Hongo?
What about you, Hongo?
Well, I kind of remember the game you guys were just talking about. Wasn't it made by the people that make the Total War games?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a brilliant game. But it reminds me of that. It looked really good, and that's all I have to say. And anyone
we don't have time for your reminiscing.
Reminiscing.
So, yeah.
Grammar.
Okay,
good.
so quiet now. Killer Instinct, the one that a lot of people were waiting for.
Yeah.
I think I was the only one who wasn't waiting for it.
Yeah. I was curious about it. I've seen gameplay of Killer Instinct, and that's where the combo breaker. So that's kind of the one thing I was mainly interested in. But they didn't show that, and they only showed like 2 characters, and they kind of had sort of kind of an interesting art style to it. But I didn't see too much to be excited about yet, gameplay wise.
I just saw Street Fighter 4 with a bit of Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Hongo?
Did you see this?
Yeah, I saw the trailer for Killer Instinct. I don't know. It just kind of... I remember there being a Killer Instinct game at a arcade cabinet at an old restaurant from when I was a kid. It always seemed like a Mortal Kombat to me, but maybe less violent. I don't know. So I can't comment
it was
much on
more
it.
violent.
It's funny that you said that, because when I see it, I go, are we getting an exclusive Mortal Kombat game? Because I didn't even think about Killer Instinct.
Oh yeah.
It's funny, but like I don't play fighting games too much. So yeah, but also there's some information about it that there's a play for free version that's coming out for as well, but it's not that good. You can only play as that wolf character. What's his name? I don't remember it. But yeah.
Saberwolf, I think.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, wait, are we talking about Killer Instinct? I can't remember.
Killer Instinct, yeah.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, it had a J in it at the start.
I don't understand why that was funny.
Yeah, but it was.
Okay.
But yeah, so play for free version, you'll only be able to play as a wolf. But I mean, it's better than no play for free version.
It's kind of like a Meteor demo in a way.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
So yeah, I think maybe we can move on.
Yeah.
To an interesting one now, because I came from Insomniac Games, who are big Sony supporters in the past, and they've gone exclusive with this one, and it's called Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
Wolf, Hongo, one of you want to take this?
I actually didn't see the entire trailer when it
Wow.
showed up, so I was momentarily distracted somehow or another. I don't remember why, but I mean, from what I saw, I kind of like saw like the end of it or something like that. But it looked like what I was kind of expecting Fuse to be
Yeah,
that's
in
sorry.
terms of like fun factor kind of idea.
Yeah.
it was colorful like Ratchet and Clank, but it had its own thing going on, which I liked.
It seems like it's going to be like a free roam horde mode that has co-op.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure like that trailer, it'd be really hard to pick up exactly what the game is like and what it'll play like, but that's what I would have said.
It seems to have combat. It seems to have some kind of free running going on.
Yeah.
It also seems to be multiplayer too, because I'm actually watching the trailer now, and I saw another character that was fighting zombies, and they had like their username over their head, and they were just kind of like there.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah. I think that's going to be like one of the new things, that everybody just goes into the city and you don't have to hang out, like you do your own thing. And I like that. I like that approach to it.
Yeah.
But it looked interesting. I'm going to wait to see some gameplay, but obviously have to. But yeah, it looked cool. I was surprised when it said Insomniac Games. I was like, whoa, this is awkward.
Yeah.
It was interesting that they were like Sony exclusive, and then they went multi-platform, and now they're going to Microsoft.
Yeah. I'd say it's got given a load of money.
Yeah, well, I'd say Fuse performed very badly for them.
Yeah.
Actually, don't know anything about Fuse.
Exactly.
I need to play it.
I don't think anyone does.
Yeah.
I haven't seen much about Fuse. I don't even think I've seen a commercial for it, but I don't know. It just seemed kind of like really generic sci-fi looking. Like if you were to take all the bad parts of sci-fi and make it into a game. I could be wrong though, but just from my impression.
The trailer I saw for it the trailer I saw for it looked really cool. I haven't seen it much gameplay wise. I need to download a demo because I'm looking for games for my friend to play, and I like multiplayer games like that. And even though I think it might be good either way, because I'm a big fan of Lost Planet 2. I loved the heck out of that game, but I was playing with it with online and with a friend and stuff like that, and that was just awesome. But it could be the same thing with Fuse. It's just by itself, it's not a very good game, but when you put it in multiplayer, then it's something that gets fun.
Right, so I think we should move on because
true, we got a topic.
So next thing is Forza 5. Wolf, you're the car man around here, I think. Unless Hongo is, I'm not sure. Hongo, do you like cars? Racing games?
Yeah, I play Gran Turismo, so.
Okay, so how about you guys bounce back and forth?
Yeah.
Okay. The big thing for me was that when they were talking about the no AI, it kind of reads how you drive, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's kind of cool. I'm not 100% certain why it will require Xbox's service for that, because I've seen other games do similar things when it comes to making AI off a player. Like I said before Dissidia, that game actually kind of learns how you play, and you can give that ghost to other people, I guess. But either way, because of how large the game is, I guess it is kind of really cool. But what I think it's removing somewhat the professional aspect of racing. You know, because
Mhm.
part of how Gran Turismo is, in contrast, is that all the other racers are kind of professional racers. They're looking for racing lines and stuff like that. When you get rid of that racing mentality AI, and everything is just kind of like a multiplayer race, where it just becomes a racing game that just happens to be a simulator. Not really
Right.
simulation racing, I guess.
Yeah.
But
So,
I actually was kind of impressed with it though. It looked like fun, when they showed driving in the cockpit of the car, in the
yeah,
driver's seat pretty much. I was like, that actually looks fun. I'm not really a big racing game fan, but I actually wanted to take that for a spin. And like that racing wheel you have, I think it would be perfect for them kind of games.
oh yeah, yeah,
So yeah,
Yeah, that racing wheel would
yeah.
be perfect for racing games.
but you know what I mean. That kind of one's like more like I don't know. It just felt more realistic than, or looked more realistic than a lot of other racing games maybe. And I think that racing will bring you more into a game like Forza, versus like one of them arcadey racing games where it wouldn't be as
Yeah.
effective, if you get what I mean, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you think,
Hung,
Honga?
yeah,
Hongo.
Hung was thinking. Hongo. Okay, we'll just carry on maybe
Yeah,
a little bit without Hongo
it's
for a
like
while.
that lightning bolt came back to get him.
Yeah. Now, actually, one thing I kind of want to point out. When I was watching it, when I was watching it, I'm looking at the new engine is fantastic, because this definitely has to be something but made from the ground up. I'm a little disappointed they didn't show anything like day and night cycles, or if they're gonna have like weather effects and stuff like that, or show that. I kind of wish they had shown some of that stuff, because apparently it does have it. But visually, to me, it kind of has the visual caliber of Gran Turismo 5, but with much better textures. Is
All
how
right.
it looks. At least how it
Yeah.
looks to me, anyway.
I
Okay.
guess that's
But
that.
there could be more.
So let's move on to
Yeah.
the next thing they showed was Minecraft, the Xbox One edition.
Look,
Which is there? It's not too much to say about
yeah.
that. It just
Look,
seems
yeah.
like the same thing except for Xbox One.
It exists. Let's move on.
Yeah. So the next thing, and this is pretty big, is Quantum Break from Remedy.
That looked class.
I don't really understand
It seems like
anything
the.
gameplay wise,
It
but
seems
yeah.
like. Sorry to keep talking there.
No, go ahead.
It seems like the protagonist is like exempt, and whoever that female was with him rather, is exempt from whatever this time thing is, and whatever he touches, he brings into real time
Yeah.
versus
It
what's
seems to be
frozen.
they call it zero state, I think.
Yeah. Because remember he
Yeah.
goes, you got to keep like he had to stay in contact with her.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. It's going to be cool to see what they do with that, in game wise. I mean, I know Remedies is going to come out with an amazing game, but just
Yeah.
how they do it, I'm pretty confused as to that. But yeah, look pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was real time too, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just looking at everything. It's like, wow.
I liked when he was moving through the debris and he kind of pushed it to the side.
Yes,
Yeah.
That looked good.
and
Yep.
like this is only at the beginning too. They say it takes like 3 years for developers to get the most out of a console.
Yeah.
This is just the
Yeah.
beginning.
There's still so more. There's still so much
Yeah.
more they could do.
Yeah, and that cloud thing too. It's gonna be. I really want to see what they do with the cloud, like
Yeah.
handling some processes. But let's not digress into that because we are on a schedule.
Yeah, so speaking of D4 from the lads who made Deadly Premonition. And it's kind of cell shaded, kind of looked like design.
Yeah.
It didn't really, there's no hints of gameplay there at all, I
No,
don't think. Maybe there was.
I didn't even know what was going on, to be honest.
They kind of
It's,
just jumped into it immediately
Yeah.
after the Quantum Break thing, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on? It's the same game."
yeah, but it does look interesting. I know Deadly Premonition is something I'm definitely interested in getting on PSN. So yeah, I'll be interested in that one.
All right,
So after that was a very interesting one called Project Spark.
that looked amazing.
Yeah.
Talk.
Who wants to hop on this one?
I think the guy who said that looks amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it was just interesting because like I was surprised. I seen this and it's like, oh, another kiddie game. Here we go. And I was like, okay, it's not really like you're building worlds and stuff. But I'm like, but why we want to build a world? And then he goes, let's go into it. I'm like, oh my god, okay. And then it was like, okay, so you can run around it, but then what? And then he builds a village, and then I was getting more interested. And then he says, oh, we can do this and give that rock a personality. You know what I mean? It was just a rock, like, but they did that for a joke, like the pet rock thing.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
then
yeah.
they build the whole world thing, and then was it they cut to the village being attacked by an army of goblins, and then he just morphs a bridge under his feet to move out to them without even walking, and I was like, it was
that
like
was cool.
earthbending from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a huge surprise, but I'm really interested in that game now.
Yeah, it's also, I guess it's kind of like a game maker of sorts. So it has, to me it kind of had that the possibilities factor of Little Big Planet, where you can like make new game types and stuff like that, and all that cool jazz. Because immediately after they were showing like, I guess, parodies of what was that game called?
Space Invaders and Limbo and
Yeah,
like
Space
that.
Invaders, Limbo, that one space shooting game that was like really, really popular on 360 when it first came out.
I remembered.
Yeah, I can't remember what the name of it was for the
Geometry
life of
Wars?
Geometry
That's
Wars.
it.
Yes,
Okay.
that is it. Yeah, so
Uncle
they did a
says
parody
it
of that on there. Yeah. So yeah, I thought it was really, really cool.
So do you think we'll be making these worlds or levels and sharing them online for everyone to play?
Well,
apparently,
I'm not even that creative, so I'm just gonna play other people's levels. But I mean, I think we can get some pretty cool stuff, from
Yeah.
other creative people. So yeah.
Okay, so let's move on, and the next part now, they don't really talk about games, just like Xbox Live. So, and a bit of smart glass and some other features like that. So the smart glass kind of, they demonstrated by showing a girl looking up her stats on her Rise game, which wasn't too interesting to me. Then they showed off some Killer Instinct multiplayer on stage with some bad jokes.
Did you hear the rape joke they put in?
I did not.
He said, "Just relax, let it happen," or something like that. It'll be over soon.
yeah. I think I was doing the Killer Instinct part actually.
Yeah. He said like.
That's not really a rape joke,
But
though.
like,
you like this, huh?
it kind of is. It'll be
Kinda,
over
sorta.
soon. Let it
Okay,
happen.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's some news outlets are making bigger deals out of it than it really is warranted. Because I mean, who doesn't use rape jokes when they're proning somebody in a game? It just kind of happens in general.
But it's the way she was dressed. She was asking for it.
Oh, that's gross. That's how it works.
Oh
TakuChat does not condone rape.
Except for Wolf.
no.
But yeah, they showed the Upload Studio right after that, which was
that was
kind of.
impressive.
Yeah.
I like you kind of use the two sticks to trim it. That was kind of intuitive.
Yeah.
And then they showed off streaming, which was in line with they've got a partnership going with Twitch.
Yeah.
That's
And
really
then
cool.
they showed the limits in the friends list is gone, and that they're using real money instead of your Microsoft points, which would be a big relief. And lastly, is that your gold membership can be shared among people on the same Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I wanted to point out that I noticed was that when she was doing the Rise thing, she was playing a game on there. She was saying she was searching for a game in the background, and then like as soon as it found the game, boom, it just went to Killer Instinct.
Yeah, I was really impressed by that too.
Oh yeah,
I was trying to figure out, like, they didn't really clarify if the game was actually running in the background or not. So it wasn't clarifying if it was two games that up, or if it just loaded the game that quickly, or like was the game like in a stasis in the background or something, and you were playing another game, or was it just like, or did it just like switch consoles spontaneously or something? I don't know. They didn't explain that at all, and I feel like they should have, because that would have been awesome if that was the case, but they didn't explain how that worked at all.
So what did you think about that, Hongo? Anything to add?
More sharing features, and I really think that once people get to using the Xbox One or the PS4 when it comes to sharing their content or like recordings of cool stuff they did in games, that's YouTube's probably gonna see a lot of uploading.
Is that something you can see yourself making use of?
Oh yeah, if I do something cool in a game, like get a good headshot or do something like, let's say I'm playing an Uncharted game and I'm jump off a ledge, shoot, and then roll and do all kinds of crazy crap. Yeah, I'd like to record that.
I look forward to seeing it.
I hope we can transfer it to our computers. So if you didn't want to use their editing, like I like to use Sony Vegas, maybe more in-depth kind of videos, that the editing more editing features pretty much that you wouldn't be able to get on the Xbox or the PS4. That's all. But it's still really cool though. I mean, if you're like, okay, this doesn't need editing. This is an Unreal headshot. I'm uploading it. Boom.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So we're a little bit tight in time now.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to Crimson Dragon, which had no sound while they were playing it.
And you shoot stuff.
This is actually like the spiritual successor to Panzer Dragoon, is this, or?
No idea, but
I don't really know much about that.
No, neither do I.
Any of you guys?
Actually, I'm sorry. Can I point out something real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it was foolish to think that we could cram an hour and 30-minute conference into 30 minutes.
I know.
Yes, probably was.
Yeah. Let's just go as long as it takes, but let's not dilly-dally.
The folly of man.
Yeah, the folly of man.
Okay, so do we have anything to say about Crimson Dragon?
No, I had no interest in it, and I thought it looked shit.
Strong words. I actually got a lot of praise on TakuChat. A lot of lads were happy to hear about that.
I'm the outcast for TakuChat now for my anti-Nintendo stance.
Well.
I remember the game like way back on I think it was on the original 360, and that was like the most amazing game I've ever seen at the time. Of course, I never owned on the original Xbox. Original Xbox. But no, I never had an Xbox, but I only played like the demo of it. But I like, shooting game. I like kind of shooting games where you have this thing and then you're just locking on the stuff and then boosh and then dodging and then all that stuff. I like games like that, so it looked really cool to me.
Yeah.
Okay, Hongo, did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I remember Panzer Dragoon Orta, like Wolf was saying, on the original Xbox. It almost made me get an Xbox, but I never did. But it's definitely one of those games that I wished I had an Xbox for. And I'm all for rail shooters. I think they're pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so it's definitely a big hitter for them to have as an exclusive. So next up, which was I think one of my favorites, was Dead Rising 3.
Mm-hmm.
So who wants to take that?
3, 2, 1. I'll do it. I'm just gonna leave like 3 seconds of silence, and then I'll hop on. But okay, so
you'll all do that now, and then you'll all jump on the same one in 3 seconds.
Okay, so I enjoyed the second Dead Rising game. I thought the first one was okay as well, but I actually prefer that they're going from what I can see a more grittier approach and less humor. I don't know. I like that more in my zombie games. Like, it makes me feel like I'm actually trying to survive. To start with, anyways, he starts beside a house, and there was a trailer leading up to it, but I'm not talking about that. He goes into a backyard and sees like three zombies eating a body, and they notice him. He engages them in combat. He's a wrench. By the looks of his clothes, the person you play as is a mechanic. So he fights them, blah blah blah. You take down 2 of them, and then loads of zombies burst through the wooden fence. So there's destruction. That tells us there's at least minor destruction anyway. So they burst through, and then he tries to turn another direction. They burst through the other side of the fence. So he turns back to the other side, and he breaks it himself. So that also means that you'll be able to do some breaking of your own, I guess.
Yeah.
More zombies are coming. I thought it was actually laughed pretty. He just like throws a wrench at one of the zombies, and there's like 30 of them. You know what I mean? It's like Thor's wrench or something like that. It's just gonna go through all of them. But and then the player, whoever's controlling him.
Excuse me, hold on a sec. You might say he threw a spanner in the works.
Oh, this guy over here with the jokes.
Okay, continue.
But he climbs up a van and gets onto the roof. And from here, I didn't expect this to happen. But he looks around, you hear the character talk, and then he turns and looks at a skylight in the roof. And he picks up something, I don't know what it was, and smashes the window and hops inside the house. And but it looked like a regular house, so by the looks of it, every house or some buildings will be enterable. I have a feeling all of them will be. I'm going to throw that out there now. It's my prediction.
That would be impressive because it's an open world.
Yeah, I think so. That looked class as a way to escape. Like, there was a lot of zombies outside, and he would have died. There was no way he would have been able to fight them. So and then he finds a gun inside this building, obviously put there for the I think put there for the demo. And he also finds a flashlight, and here's where we see the crafting system where he uses some duct tape, which I don't know where he got, but he tapes the light to the gun, so now he can point and shoot and see where he's going as he goes through the house. And as he hopped into the building, you could hear zombies in the other room, and they sound a bit more scarier than the last game. It does actually seem much more scarier than Dead Rising 1 and 2, which Dead Rising 1 and 2 were just kind of more humorous, and you could do funny things and whatnot. But I'm actually
Sorry, go ahead.
sorry, yeah, just to get on with my verbal walkthrough of the thing, because I really really enjoy this game and I want to talk about it more.
Go ahead.
So he breaks out of the bathroom where he landed in. There's some zombies in there. He shoots them. Blah blah blah. He gets jumped from a corner by a zombie, and he pushes him down. And without aiming, maybe the player just pressed right trigger, and maybe there's like an auto lock on thing because he just shoots the zombie in the ground a few times. I thought that was pretty visceral, pretty realistic in a way. I thought it was pretty cool. He gets outside. I think he hops in a car, doesn't he, or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets a nice
Oh,
car.
wait. He hops on something. He's a flare. He shoots the flare, and if you notice the smoke and whatnot, it looks really good.
Oh yeah, the lighting was
Yeah,
really good.
and
Yeah.
how the flare just slowly started to descend like they do in real life, you know.
Yeah. He drew the zombies away doing that.
Yeah, and as he's running, he picks up a machine gun and just melees a zombie in front of him with it, and then shoots him. And I thought that was cool. Eventually, getting into a car where he crashes it, and it looked pretty cool as well. Everything looked cool. I'm saying cool a lot. Calls it, and then this is where it was interesting, but in my opinion, a bit gimmicky. They use smart glass to call in an artillery strike as the player is faced with a lot of zombies between him and his objective.
Do you think we'd only be able to do that if we have the smart glass?
No.
Would that be exclusive to us?
I don't think so. I think they might do something like, you'll have to go into a menu, and then you might, lose your visibility on the enemies. Where if you had your smart glass, you can just quickly tap where you are on the map. And I don't know though. I mean, I have smart glass, but right now it's just a glorified remote control for the Xbox.
Yeah.
Did they say anything about multiplayer for that game?
I'm gonna guess there's co-op.
Yeah.
Let me see. I don't remember. I saw it in the interview afterward, but I don't remember the mentioning of co-op or anything. Maybe that might be something they release later.
Yeah, I think there will be though. 'Cause, them kind of games just like scream co-op to me.
Yeah.
What do you think, Congo? You've been pretty quiet.
Yeah.
I've just been listening.
The silence is deafening.
Yeah.
I never played the Dead Rising games, but I remember seeing years ago on G4 they showed something about the first game and there's a clown in the mall or something.
Yeah.
And he's like really freaking crazy.
Right.
Yeah,
that's about all I remember is a crazy.
I never played the game myself either, to be honest. I was kind of interested in getting the second one, but I just haven't gotten around to it.
I remember the very first Dead Rising that was coming exclusively to 360 before, and I saw a trailer before the 360 even announced, and I was like, I might get a 360 just for this game.
Wow.
But I'm kind of glad I didn't, because when I played 2 then, it was kind of like, meh, you know?
Didn't they come out with a Wii version?
I don't know, did they?
No idea.
I think they did like for the Wii of the original Dead Rising.
I think it's like that in the comments
chop till you drop. They did.
Oh, okay.
All right. The motion controls suit that.
I don't think it was as impressive because I think there's like where in the original there's like dozens and dozens of zombies. There's only like maybe a handful or something.
Yeah.
I just remember it getting really bad reviews.
Yeah.
Because the thing about Dead Rising was how many zombies there was on screen, and then if you put it on the Wii, which wouldn't have the processing power to maintain
it defeats the purpose of the game.
Yeah, it defeated the purpose of the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we done?
Yeah. Sorry for making that one too long.
No, it's alright. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Oh, I didn't really have any interest in this game until I saw the trailers from it yesterday. And it's like open world, you can hunt all these monsters and stuff. It just looks very interesting. So, does anyone else know a bit more about it than I would?
I briefly... sorry, I'll let Wolf... I've been talking a lot. You jump in it there.
Actually, I haven't played all of The Witcher 2 yet. I've only played like a good portion of it, but it's kind of like it's like a really good action strategic RPG. There's like a whole lot of layers from what I played, and it's very challenging too. Like it's not an easy game, at least not for me when just me starting out. But it's a really cool game. I don't know a super amount about it, to be honest.
Hongo, have you played the Witcher games?
I have not. I've just seen small glimpses of gameplay, and that's about it.
Apparently, there's lots of boobs involved.
Yeah.
Well, I need to watch it more.
Yeah,
I saw. Yeah,
I'm gonna do it right now. Fuck you guys.
Yep, I have seen the boobs, And it's true. They are there.
Okay.
And
We
very
have
nice.
we have confirmation, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
yeah.
Yes.
We have proved it.
People rejoicing around the world.
Wolf is such a pervert.
Yeah.
But
Keep it
anyway,
calm.
Battlefield 4, and the kind of funniest moment. Well, there was kind of a funny one too in the Sony one, but
Yeah.
the funniest moment of the Microsoft event anyway was they just couldn't get it to start.
Yeah, and then he was about to walk out. He was actually handling it well, kind of just briefly talking to the audience periodically, and then you
Yeah.
could tell he was starting to get really pissed off.
Yeah, I think at one
He's
stage
like,
he
"But-"
said to someone, "Be quiet."
Did he?
I think he did. Yeah. A lot of people have been saying that anyway.
Be quiet.
And he was like, and he expected, he's like about to walk in the back. And I was like, are we still going?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're still going? Oh, okay.
After that, I was like, oh, and the guy who was there, like, gesturing to him, like, it's like, we can all see that,
Yeah.
But yeah, that was,
Yeah.
but I mean,
It's
the
pretty
worst
awful.
part was it was single player, and that's definitely not Battlefield 4's strong point,
Yeah.
It does seem to be an improvement over threes.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's more like
colorful.
Bad Company kind of direction.
Do you know what I like is that they're not afraid to actually put some color in there now, instead of
Oh, yeah.
their heavy blues.
Yep.
I didn't like that about that.
It was like blue, green, red, and just all this over the
Yeah.
place. And then destruction was really, really good too. I like what they were doing with that. With just you can blow up that little ship portion and have that thing slide down, and it looked like it was It was completely physics based too. It
Yes,
wasn't like or
Yeah.
anything.
which is impressive. Like that they can handle that.
Yeah.
Or the game can handle that. There was a lot of things moving at once.
Right.
But
But yeah, they announced as well that well, actually, people are saying they saw a backspace key appear on the screen during the
Oh
gameplay,
yeah.
which is a bit suspicious.
yeah,
Also,
I've heard that too.
the first map pack will be a timed exclusive for the Xbox One.
Yep.
Sort of like how PS3 got it or
Yeah.
PS3. But I never even care about that though, because like I'm not that impatient that I can't wait a week or two.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
Not a big
it'll be
deal.
out a month later. So
Yeah. It means nothing to me. Like
No biggie.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, take
And
that,
also,
Sony fags.
and one more thing was oh shoot, oh yeah, I wasn't seeing any impressive AI stuff going on there. That was just one more thing I wanted to point out. I was kind of like expecting like seeing enemies move around a bit more, take some cover, stuff like that. No, I didn't see any of that. They were just mostly standing around, or at least moving and standing around, except for that one guy that had the grenade launcher. But he
I
was
think
pretty easy to
I think
flank.
Battlefield 4 multiplayer would be a lot more impressive than its single player,
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's for sure.
and we'll get into that at the EA
I
conference.
can't wait to talk about it.
But yeah, are we? Hongo, do you have any thoughts about Battlefield 4? Do you play it at all? Or?
Is that the one where was it at the end of the trailer or the gameplay session where the building was collapsing?
Oh, that was in the
that's
That was
multiplayer
during
part.
the E3
Oh,
one.
that is a multiplayer. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the
Yeah.
EA conference.
yeah.
Yeah. The Microsoft one is the one when they're on the ship.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, the next thing they showed was it looked like an indie game called Below.
That
You
was
see that?
weird. Yeah, I
Look-
don't not much to say about that. Like, is there?
No, it didn't really. It
There
looked
wasn't
good.
much to show. It's from the same people that made for Sword and Sorcery. That Sword and Sorcery game that I never played all of, but artistically it was really, really cool. So
Yeah, it did look pretty. Like
yeah,
they
they
did
have
show.
a really good art director or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's it
Everyone
really.
else have anything to add about that?
No, there wasn't much to look at, was there?
Okay,
No,
so the
not
next
a lot.
part they're talking about. Well, this one didn't have a name, but it's just from the studios, Black Tusk Studios, and they showed off a demo, well, trailer, whatever, of
Nothing
well,
really.
yeah, it was kind of looked like a stealth game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's hard to tell what was going on. It's like in a city, he was infiltrating some building, a lot
somewhat
of fireworks
futuristic.
going on. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
That's
short.
it really.
Not much you can say about that, other than it's probably a good ways off from completion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I say
At
they
the
just
end
wanted
of
to
it-
fill something up or get more interest going, and some future projects. Like
The actual interesting one then came out right after us with Halo 2014.
yeah, possibly that's Halo 5. I'd say Halo 5.
Yeah.
Well, I could say with 100% certainty. I'll take that to the bank.
Why didn't they call it Halo 5?
I don't know. I couldn't give you an answer.
I have a feeling it's going to be something like a Halo Reach or Halo ODST or something.
I hope not.
Well, it was Master Chief at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And for some reason, he had a poncho on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone is like, "What's with the poncho?" on
Yep.
damn internets.
Yeah. Apparently, it's like, it's his suit. He doesn't want to get sand inside of his suit. Da 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 da. But his hands were completely exposed and legs and.
And I'm sure there's been a Halo map where there's been a beach or sand involved
There
in
has
the past,
been, yeah.
and he wasn't wearing a poncho then.
But not in them harsh desert conditions. But,
okay, we'll let it slide then.
But well, some things that they said it's going to be 60 frames per second, first time for a Halo game. I think that'll be nice. It's going to be out in 2014. My money's on holiday, around the holiday time or Christmas time, 2014. But obviously they weren't going to show too much of it.
Right. So, yeah. So the
Just
big news. Oh, sorry. What?
Oh, I was just saying they probably just showed it to build into interest.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Definitely. Okay. So
big news then is the date and the price.
Oh no!
Tango, would you like to take it up?
Titanfall. You missed Titanfall.
That was last, wasn't it?
Was that?
I think that's how they ended us with Titanfall. But thanks for ruining my surprise bullet.
Oh. Yeah.
Now, do you want to go with Titanfall?
Should have organized the notes better.
Okay, let's just go with Titanfall then, because I haven't ruined the date or the price yet.
Yeah. Okay. So, actually, Gunn, how about you take this?
Are you sure? Because I feel like Wolf and Hongo haven't really said too much today.
All right. Well, okay.
And I'm not 100%.
Yeah, Hongo take it.
Yeah, if he's up for it.
But is.
Damn it, Hongo!
I fail.
I think he signed up for the Sony conference.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
He didn't really sign
Yeah,
up.
Sure.
I just skimmed articles. I probably really should have watched the conference before this whole thing, but that's okay.
It's our fault.
We can expect a lot more from Hongo in the Sony one.
It won't be such a bitter disappointment.
Yeah.
2 out of 10.
All right. Well, I guess I'll lead it then. The Titanfall one was certainly the most impressive for me. It had the wall running. It had wall running, getting in the mech. If you're a foot soldier, you could still take down a mech, but you can hop on its back and then pull out its cords and all kinds of other stuff like that. And I thought it was going to be like a story-based kind of thing, but it turns out it's a multiplayer. But all they were showing wasn't like some kind of cinematic story thing. It was a multiplayer thing that was going on. So to me, it kind of seemed like it was kind of like a mix of what you saw in Brink when it came to some of the running around stuff, just with like mechs and jetpacks and junk like that. So it just looked like it controlled really, really, really well. But then they had the one moment where at the end it was like he's getting shot up while he's in this mech, and then he just jets out of it, and while he's going up in the midair, he just lands on top of the mech that killed him, and then proceeds to dismantle that mech with his hands, and starts something like that, and it was just awesome.
It looked really good. I'm very impressed with it. It's another game I'm looking out for now.
Yeah, and that is an exclusive.
Is it?
To Xbox 360 and Xbox One.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
PC as well, sorry, yeah.
That's pretty big then. I thought that was multiplied.
It might be timed exclusive to the Xbox. They might release. I heard something about might release the PS4 version, but probably games like that. I feel more inclined on PC. Just kind of.
Yeah, me too.
But
Okay, well let's move on because we're really burning the midnight oil here.
Yeah.
It's like 50 minutes, really. I think. 49 minutes.
Yeah. So the release date November this year, and the price in America will be $499, in the EU €499, and in the UK £429. How do we think about that price?
Well,
and days?
We're getting blasted in the ass over here because
Yeah,
Should
because
be less.
$499 does not equal €499.
Yeah, they're probably expecting to get a lot of sales over here and keep the prices the same, and they'll still get loads more profit. They'll actually probably help them pay for the console, profit off the console too.
Yep,
Um,
always getting shafted.
yeah, I'm not pleased at all. At first, I had plans like before I knew anything about next gen. I was like, I'll get the next Xbox at launch. I didn't expect a price tag like that, but now, no. I'm just going to stick to PC for a while and see how Sony and Microsoft get on at the gate and see what the landscape is like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit hard for me too. I mean, I only have enough money to get one console anyway, and for them to have a price point like that, and then not have not have the possibility of rental games at launch, and at least as far as I can tell, at least I haven't seen like they have one free to play title, which is nice, but I'm not seeing much else.
Yeah.
So it's like you might have enough money to get the console, but then what else do you have? You know.
True.
It's just like, I don't know. I know there's a Kinect in there too, but I mean, we didn't ask for it.
Right.
The price mightn't be so bad if they include like maybe 6-12 months of gold subscription. That would,
Yeah. What they
Yeah.
have
that'd
to
be
do
good.
is give you a game and some gold.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'd actually be like, okay, that's pretty good, because then you got your first year on Xbox Live is sorted. You've got a game at the gate. You don't have to worry about like getting that extra
Yep.
$60, €60, whatever,
Right.
to get your game.
What do you think about the price, Hongo?
I don't know. To me, it seems like you're getting your money's worth. I mean, when you put it in perspective, it's $150 more than the deluxe Wii U.
Yeah.
So,
But Ben,
and I always kind of base the prices on that, but not like what the cheaper option is, and if like it's $100 more, but you're getting a lot more beefier hardware and more features and options. In the end, it's going to pay for itself because you'll get your money's back. You'll get your money's back easily within months of owning it if you truly enjoy it.
I think it
Yeah.
was it you who said it on Speak Out? That you'd pay the same for an iPad or something like that, and it wouldn't get
Well,
half as much support.
that
yeah,
is a
well,
Yeah.
really good point.
yeah, what I don't get, people will spend way more money on tablets. Like, there'll be $600, $700 tablets you can find in stores right now. And
Yeah.
like, for example, if it's an Android tablet, which they're kind of bad about, like they'll drop support for it as soon as it's out, and then they'll start developing the next Android tablet. Which
Right.
I don't know. I think you get more mileage out of a game console, but I'm probably biased since I'm a pretty big gamer. So
I'd agree with that though.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It is kind of generally true when it comes to updates, and not only that, it's just kind of, well, hold on. Like the thing is like it's not even the fact that they stop getting updates. It's that certain things aren't going to be compatible with it in a very short amount of time.
yeah,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
even you're not guaranteed if a certain app will even pop up on it if the firmware is not up to speed.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
At least with the console, like if you get one at the first of launch or if you get one 5 or 7 years later, you can still do most of all the stuff on it that you could at any point in
Yeah.
its lifetime. You can play all the games, you can download all the applications, you can do the same as everyone else despite coming in later or going in earlier.
Yeah. It has a long term support mentality.
Oh, also, sorry to Dead Rising 3, Forza 5, and Rise and Kinect Sports Rivals will be launch titles.
Oh yeah.
Just as a heads up there.
Okay. Dead Rising 3 is a good one to have at launch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I'd get Rise and Dead Rising 3 if that was me. I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll hear some more games coming out that they mightn't be. But GameStop Ireland have a deal going where you reserve and they'll put you up to day one edition or something like that. I haven't learned about it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that was the other thing about the Xbox. Everyone's doing that. You get a day one edition of the Xbox One when you pre-order it.
Yeah. That's probably
So
what they mean then.
What is the day one
yeah.
edition?
Apparently, you get an achievement and you have a day one edition controller or something like that. I don't
Oh.
think it's anything super special that I've seen.
An achievement.
Achievement.
My God. Anyway,
Yes.
I think that's all we have to
Yeah,
say
that's
about it
it.
for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to
What are
edit,
your
so let's shut up.
what are your what are your thoughts overall on the Microsoft? We'll start with Badger.
Okay. I'm not happy that I have to connect online to play a console that I own allegedly. But the games were really good. I really like the games that were shown, and that's what it comes down to: what games you're going to play in it. Because that's what I'm going to do on my games console. I'm not going to watch TV. So I'm happy with it. I mean, it's a lot better than I thought it would be. A lot of good games coming out, and I'm going to wait and see. I'm on the fence.
Okay, Wolf.
I thought it was pretty good. They didn't talk about Kinect at all, which is crazy. I was expecting at least some kind of family portion because they were pushing the family thing for a good long while, you know. But for me, it was kind of a little bit too much games and not enough console. They didn't really talk about what made the console special in detail, I guess. It was just kind of like they noted some things and then kind of moved on away from that and just kept showing game after game after game. They didn't address any of the people's concerns at all. It was just like, here's our games. Everything else we're just not going to talk about. So it was good. It was just it left me wanting.
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
I honestly I think they redeemed themselves pretty well, considering how they introduced the system and just talked about TV the whole time.
Yeah.
TV and sports and dogs.
Walk all the dogs.
Walk all the dogs.
Okay. Is that it for everybody?
What about you, Gun?
Yeah.
What did you think?
Oh yeah, fuck, I forgot about you.
I think they did a great job of distracting everyone from the elephant that was in the room that they never addressed. Yeah. But I was impressed with a good few of the games they showed. So this is what their reveal should have been.
Yeah.
Yes,
definitely.
I would agree with that.
But then again, if there was that, we would have seen a lot of TV this E3, and it would have been a really boring podcast.
True, but they wouldn't have had all that negative stuff going into it, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to our roundup show when all is said and done, and we compare and contrast everybody and who we think won rather.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's it. So.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. Check out TakuChat.com.
Yep. Do all that good stuff.
Finish each other's sentences. What is love?
What is love?
All right, guys.
Bye bye.
That's that.